All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ha, or Ha, Kodash Mama. Double honors to the elder apostles and their elders of GMS. Salutations to the sincere Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm Nakar Karal Bani Yasharala, coming out of the Lions Den camp of Yasharala here in Jacksonville, Florida. Now, today I'll be coming out with a lesson. Title's lesson is Esau, the villain, the liar, and the thief, the murderer also. You know, just throw another word in there. But yes, according to the scriptures, according to Esau's track record, you know, he is a villain. He is a bad guy. He's a villain. He's a liar. He's a thief, and he's a murderer. But real quick, before I get into my lesson, I'm gonna get this definition of the word villain, and it says, the person or thing responsible for specified trouble, harm, or damage. And who is the person responsible for this specified hurt and damage around the four corners of the earth, and especially toward the children of Israel, these Edomites, Esau, because of his hatred towards his brother Jacob. We are Jacob, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and the speckled bird. The speckled bird being the other nations, so like it's being the Israelites that look like the other nations. And I got one more definition for it, and this is another meaning for the word villain. It says base or low born. So as you know, it says in the scripture that he's a base man. But as you know, Esau is a murderer. As a matter of fact, you know, that same spirit that was on Cain, it's back here and it's on Esau. And all the day long, Esau has been killing his brother Jacob. You see all these police shootings. You know, you see senseless, well, I won't say senseless acts of violence, and I just stick with what I said the first time because I don't want to do too much rambling. But you see these Edomites trying to arm up. You see lynchings and different things of the sort like that, and they're targeting who? They're targeting Yasharallah. They're targeting the Israelites. Esau is targeting his brother Jacob because he has that same murderous, hateful spirit that Cain had on him against his brother. But without further ado, let's get in some scriptures. This is Psalms chapter 58. I'm gonna just start at verse 1. It says, "Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly?" And as you know, Edom, you know, they don't speak righteousness. They don't judge uprightly. Verse 2, yea, in heart you work wickedness. You weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. See, Esau works violence and wickedness. He weighs this stuff in his hands in the earth. He practiced this kind of thing, murder and violence and different things of the sort like that. But continuing, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. See, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Esau can't tell the truth about nothing. And if he tells the truth, it's gonna be a lot of lie mixed up in it to keep you thrown off so that you won't see the truth. But Esau is a liar. These Edomites are liars, you know. But continuing, verse 4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. And their poison, what is their poison? Their poisons are these lies, these doctrines, these false beliefs, these feigned words. They're like poison, the poison of a snake, the poison of a death adder, i.e. a serpent, a poisonous serpent. Their words will destroy you. Their words will kill you. You know, their words are like you know, smoother than butter, but war's in their heart. It's soft like oil. But internally within themselves, so like within themselves, they seek to hurt, harm, and destroy. They seek to steal. But continuing, now let's go to Genesis chapter 4. Start at 15. It's like verse 1. Let me look at it real quick. Con. And this I'm just reading this. This is the story of Cain and Abel and how Abel became jealous and he murdered his brother. Out of jealousy and hatred towards his brother. But there we go. This is Genesis chapter 4. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, and Adam knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord Yahweh. Of course, Adam knew his wife, meaning he went in and he popped his wife and she conceived a child. Just to make that clear. Verse 2, and she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. Kind of see the similarities between Cain and Abel and Jacob and Esau. Esau was a man of the field. Jacob was a tent dweller. Abel he was a keeper of the sheep. Cain was a tiller of the ground. Cain worked. He worked out in the fields. Abel he tended to the sheep, the livestock, and different things of sort like that. But continuing. Verse 3. And in the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord Yahweh. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord Yahweh had respect unto Abel and to his offering. See, it came a time when they offered unto the Most High. Cain he brought the fruit of the ground, but he didn't bring his first. He didn't bring the best. He brought second class. But when Abel came, he brought his best, his first fruits, his firstlings. And the Lord had respect upon that. The Lord honored that. Verse 5, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. See, Cain kept all the good, Cain kept all the good stuff to himself and tried to get the Lord second hand. So guess what? The Most High didn't have no respect for his offering. And guess what? Cain got an attitude. He got angry. He got mad. And his countenance fell, meaning his countenance changed. He got mad, basically. Verse 6, and the Lord Yahweh said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? The Lord was like, why you mad? What's wrong with you? And why is thy countenance fallen? Like, why all of a sudden you done changed up now? What's wrong with you? What's the problem? That's what the Lord was asking. Verse 7, it says, if thou do well, shalt thou not be accepted? The Lord was like, well, if you do well and you did right, shall you not be accepted? See, the Lord was kind of mocking Cain a little bit here. But continue, if thou do well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. Verse 8, and Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. See, they was talking in the field, and Cain rose up against his brother and killed him. Why? Because he was mad, because he was jealous. Out of jealousy. The Lord had respect upon Abel's offering, but he didn't respect Cain. Cain got an attitude. Cain got mad. The Lord was like, what you mad for? I mean, if you doing right, shouldn't your offering be let me see, let me find it real quick. Again. Yeah. The Lord was like, if you doing right, shouldn't you be accepted as well? And it says, and if not, sin lieth at the door. See, the Lord knew. Sin was in Cain's heart. But again, verse 8. And Cain talked with his brother Abel, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against his brother Abel and slew him. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? See, Cain was a murderer and a liar. The Lord asked Cain, he says, where's thy brother Abel? What Cain said? Cain lied and said, oh, I don't know where he at. Am I my brother's keeper? Verse 10. And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. So the Lord was like, well, what have you done? Because your brother's blood is crying unto me from the ground. What have you done to him? What's going on? See, the Lord knew Cain killed Abel. He knew that. He knew that. He knew that. He knew that. That's why the Lord was like, okay, well, where your brother at? What happened? What did he do? What did you do? And Cain was like, I don't know. I didn't do nothing. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, you are your brother's keeper. You really are. But continue. Again, it says, verse 10, and he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now thou art cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. So he spilled his brother's blood, and basically he spilled his brother's blood upon the earth, out of murder, out of jealousy and anger. And the Lord was like, now you are cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. Meaning Cain killed Abel, bled out, so forth and so forth. But continuing, I don't want to lose my point. Verse 12, when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. So the Lord was like, I'm going to curse you because you killed your brother. So when you get ready to till the earth, because it says in previous verses that Cain was a tiller of the ground. So it take a lot of patience and it take a lot of strength to break up that soil, to plant things. That's work. That's real work. But the Lord said, when you get ready to till the ground, it's not going to henceforth it's not going to yield their fruit unto you. Yield their strength, meaning you're not going to be able to reap or get the things that you have been getting. And he says, a fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And the Lord was like, well, you're going to be a fugitive and a vagabond upon the earth. And does that not ring a bell when it comes down to Esau? Esau is a fugitive and a vagabond upon the earth. As a matter of fact, real quick, let me get that definition. Because that was another word that I meant to grab before now. And the word right here is vagabond. It says a person who wanders from place to place without a home or job. And they also use another word called nomads. Nomads kind of do the same thing. But let's see if I could. This phone acting stupid. Nope. So bear with me for a minute. When I act crazy. It says vagabond, Middle English, originally denoting a criminal. Is not Esau the real criminal on the planet? The word criminal comes from the word crimson, which means red. Edom means red. But let's continue in the lesson just to give you an understanding. Verse 13. And Cain said unto the Lord Yahweh, my punishment is greater than I can bear. So when the Lord cursed him, now you talking about, Lord, your punishment is greater than I can bear. No, it was perfect. Continuing, verse 14. And it says, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. So Cain was basically agreeing. Okay, yeah, I did this, and what happened? This came about because he killed his brother Jacob. It's like his brother Abel. That same murderous, jealous, hateful spirit that was on Cain is on Esau. Continuing though. Verse 15, it says, and the Lord Yahweh said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord Yahweh set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. So the Most High put a mark on Cain. What was that mark? Took away his pigment. You know, he took away his pigment. That's what that mark was. So that he would be known in the earth wherever he went, with thus making him a fugitive and a vagabond, having no settled home. And that's Esau got that same mark, what you would call clean lepers. This is Genesis 27. So like this is Genesis chapter 27. I'm gonna just get straight to the point. Hold on, so like you bear with me. Hold on, real quick. Let me grab something else to go with this. Go to Genesis chapter 25 real quick. Verse 21. Verse 20, it says, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padan Aram, the sister of Laban, the Syrian. Verse 21, it says, and Isaac entreated the Lord Yahweh for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord Yahweh was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. Verse 23, and the Lord Yahweh said unto him, two nations are in thy womb. Two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. Verse 24, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. The first came out red all over, like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. So there it is right there. They had one that came out red, hairy like a garment all over. And they called him Esau. In Hebrew, Asashua, wasted away as he. You know, he was red all over. Crimson, red, criminal. But that was just, just giving you an understanding of how Jacob and Esau came to be. And I was just using Genesis chapter 20, chapter 4. Just as a reference of Cain and Abel, just as a reference of how Cain had that wicked, murderous spirit on him, and that lying spirit on him as well, would cause him to kill his brother Jacob out of jealousy and anger and hatred towards, because the Lord had respect upon Abel's offering, because Abel gave his first fruits, his firstlings. Cain came with that second-hand crop, and the Lord didn't have no respect on that. So that made Cain wroth, made him angry, and he killed his brother out of jealousy and anger. He had that murderous spirit on him. And Esau to this day has that same murderous spirit on him. But let's get back to the lesson. I'm going to start at verse 34. Just to get straight to the point. Because as you know, when it was time to get the blessing, Esau gave up his birthright. for food. We're gonna say for a portion of food. He gave up the kingdom. He gave up everything for something to eat. And basically, just roughly paraphrasing, because I just want to get straight to the point. Jacob, when he came back, he was like, basically, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I'm about to die. Jacob was like, well, man, if you be like, well, bro, if you wait for this food to get done, you know, you can go and get you something to eat and, get your strength back. Esau was like, nah, I need it now. I need it now. Let me eat it now. And Jacob was like, well, the food ain't done. Esau was like, I need it now. I'm famished. Oh, I'm about to die. So it was like, okay, you know, you want something, then here you go. But yeah. So basically, like, what Jay was like, well, sell me your birthright. Here, you can get this birthright, man. What's this gonna do for me? It ain't gonna do nothing for me. And he sold his birthright to Jacob. So basically, he gave away the kingdom. But it was set up that way. It was already set up that way. Because you got to have a villain and you got to have a good guy. But continuing, let's get back to the point. This is Genesis 27 and 34, because as you know, earlier on in the chapter, when it came down to it, Jacob's eyes were dim. Jacob was going, he going blind. He couldn't see his sons. His eyes wasn't too good. Salakia. Isaac, their father Isaac was pretty much, his eyes were dim. His sight started getting bad because of old age and different things of the sort. Or he may have very well been going blind, But when it was time to get the blessing, again, Isaac was like, hey, Esau, my son, go and make me some savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me that I may eat and my soul may bless thee before I die. And when Rebekah heard this, and when Isaac spake to his son Esau, Esau went out to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob, her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat. Bless thee before the Lord Yahweh before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, according to that which I command thee. Now go to the flock, fetch me from thence 2 good kids of goats, and I will make them savory meat. So basically, Rebekah was like, look, go out there, go and fetch me 2 kids, 2 good kids, meaning two of the firstborns of 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make some good. Go out there, you're gonna get me 2 of them goats, and I'm gonna make some savory meat for your daddy, basically for your father, and you gonna go and you gonna bring it to him. And then when this happened, you're gonna go bring it to him. Basically, it was set up for Jacob to get the blessing. That's why all this happened. And Jacob was like, basically, I'm just roughly paraphrasing, but Jacob was like, mama, Esau, he hairy. I'm not. And he was like, peradventure, or maybe, or perhaps, daddy gonna put his hands on me, feel me, and know that I'm not Esau. And then that's gonna bring a curse upon me. His mother says unto him, upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice and go and fetch me them. So Jacob did what he was supposed to. Jacob did what he was supposed to do. His mom, he went and got the 2 kids and gave them to his mama. His mama did what she did, made the savory meat, and she said, go and take this to your daddy, And she put the skins of the goats, of the 2 kids, on him, on the smooth of his neck and upon his hands. So then she was like, now go to your father. And I'm going to just jump down to verse 28. He says, therefore, and basically when he went, he was like, daddy, here go the savory meat, the venison that you wanted. And he was like, well, how you got back so quick, Esau? He was like, wait a minute. You feel like Esau, but you sound like Jacob. are you my son? He was like, yeah, Dad, it's me. It's Esau. And verse 28 is how, you know, the Lord gave the blessing. It's like it. Well, the Lord did give the blessing through Isaac, you know. So basically, verse 28 says, therefore, Yahweh give thee the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and the nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. And it came to pass that, that as soon as, Isaac had made an end to the blessing of Jacob, Jacob was yet scarce gone. I mean, right after Jacob left, Esau came walking up, you know, from hunting. And he made the savory meat for his father, and he brought it to his father. And Isaac said unto him, who art thou? Because, he was like, hey, Dad, I got the venison for you. And Dad was like, who you is? Who are you? And he was like, is me, Esau, your firstborn. And Isaac trembled exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that has taken venison and brought it to me? He was like, well, who was that gave me this venison and this food? And he said, I have eaten of it. And he knows, behold, thou camest and have blessed him, and he says, and he shall be blessed. I mean, I didn't bless him. And you came afterwards. Verse 34, my point. And it says, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, my father. See, Esau really had no intention on giving up his birthright. Again, I sell you my birthright for something to eat. Again, that lying spirit. He never intended to give up his birthright. And when it was time for a blessing, when it came down to it, Esau, he cried with an exceeding bitter cry. But it wasn't set up for Esau to get the blessing. It was set up for Esau to be the villain, the murderer, the thief, and the liar. But continuing, I'm going to kind of jump down real quick. I'm already, anyways. But again, he said, thy brother came with subtlety and hath taken away thy blessing. And this is what Esau said. And he said, is it not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. See, the first time, that go Esau lying. He wasn't supplanted the first time. Jacob was like, well, if you give me your birthright, and I can give you something to eat. And then what Esau did, man, what this birthright gonna do to me? What can this do for me, man? Yeah, hey, you can have my birthright, all for something to eat. He wasn't supplanted the first time. But again, verse 36, and he said, is not he rightly named Jacob, for he hath supplanted me these 2 times? He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing, and he said, hast thou not reserved the blessing for me? So Esau was like, man, he done took away my birthright, and now he done took the blessing. He lied to me. That was Esau lying. Esau sold his birthright. He gave it away. In verse 37, as it was like, well, I done made him Lord. You know what I'm saying? Behold, I done made him Lord. You know what I'm saying? Over all his brethren. I done gave him servants. You know what I'm saying? With corn and wine. I have sustained him. And he was like, well, what I'm going to do for you now? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. So basically, Esau was crying. Basically, he was like, you don't got no blessing for me? You got something for me, Daddy. Bless me, please. This is, just roughly paraphrasing. So Isaac was like, look, I give you a blessing. Behold, your dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword, by violence, murdering, stealing, and lying, by thy sword thou shalt serve thy brother. thou live and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off his neck. So verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing. See, Esau hated Jacob. They go that hate, they go that jealousy, that anger, that murderous spirit rising up his head in Esau. It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing. These Edomites hate Yahshua. They hate us because of the blessing. That's why Esau is the villain. That's why he is the murderer. That's why he is the thief and the liar. But again, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning of my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. See, Esau was like, well, right when daddy die, right when pops leave here and die, I'm gonna kill my brother. Why? Because he was angry and he hated Jacob because of the blessing. Cain killed Abel because the Lord had what? Respect upon Abel's offering. Because Abel offered his what? Firstlings, his first fruits of his harvest, of everything. Cain came with the second hand mumbo jumbo, and the Lord didn't have no respect for that. So while they was in the field one day, while they was talking, Cain got mad and angry and he killed his brother. And then lied about doing it, even though the Lord sees all and knows all. Same thing with Esau. Esau lied, saying that Jacob, oh, he supplanted me. He took away my birthright. When the truth of the matter is, Esau sold his birthright for food, for something right then. But he really had actually no intention on selling his birthright. So when it would come time for the blessing, he wanted to try to get the blessing, but the blessing wasn't set up for him. Thus you have the murderer. Thus you have Esau being a villain and a murderer and a liar. And how has he done these things around the four corners of the earth? Murdering, lying, and stealing. The fatness of the earth. Esau is in rulership right now. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. We continue. Let's go to Habakkuk. There we go. This is Habakkuk chapter 1. I'm going to start at verse 6. Because, you got to have a villain. Because this is during the time to where when our people were going off and being hard-headed, being disobedient to the Heavenly Father.